Welcome to the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. Brought to you live Sunday evenings, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm your host, Joseph of Borg. You can call in live 725-333-4140. Welcome to the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. 1 second, looks like my camera is off. How you doing? Joseph Borg here for the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. This week I wanted to discuss with you guys, how are you coping with all this madness? I don't know. The world's a crazy place right now, and I know a lot of us are really struggling. I know myself, there's not a lot of distraction, not a lot to do to get out of the house. It's making it kind of difficult to, quite frankly, keep my shit together. I live in Las Vegas. Everything's shut. Casinos are all closed. Most restaurants are only doing takeout or delivery. Yeah, it's a little bit of chaos. The added stress. Obviously worried about loved ones, worried about maybe catching the virus yourself. Much ado about the cerveza bug, as I call it. So I'm just wondering how you guys are coping, how you doing out there. I'm more than a little bit stressed out, in no small part because we plan to relocate across country, and I'll do a show on that in the near future, but we plan to move to southern Iowa in the end of May, arriving in Iowa the 1st of June, and I'm beginning to wonder if the motels that we booked are even going to be open for the cross-country run. I really don't think I'm up to spending 2 or 3 nights in the in the car, sleeping with the wife and the couple of dogs, but we'll see how it all works out, and we'll hope for the best. So, but yeah, I want to know, what are you guys doing to cope? How are you getting by? How are you all doing? Anybody out there got the cerveza bug? My pain level's been at a high. We've had some really erratic weather, especially for Las Vegas, so my arms and whatnot are really paining me a lot. My other spinal issues are really bothering me a lot. But I did want to come in, since I'm on the new time schedule here in the evenings, to try and stick with it and be consistent for you guys. I do appreciate the time you devote, but I really just am not at my best and don't have a great topic for today, other than I want to know who's out there, how you coping. If somebody can hear me and see me, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Let me know if the stream's coming through okay. Other than that, I've been thinking of maybe putting together either a Zoom or a Skype live video gathering, so we can all kind of chat and reach out to one another. Right now, I think more than ever, it's important for those of us who have chronic pain issues. Let's be honest, most of us are pretty good at social distancing and at following the isolation rules. Most of us already were isolated, so that's not a real big concern. For a lot of us, that's not really much of a life change. But I think it's a good chance for us to make use of the technology to us. So I'm thinking about doing a live gathering, a live group, whatever you want to call it. I'll probably do that over on my Facebook page called Surfing the Pain. I'll be posting a link. I'll probably post either a Zoom link or a Skype link or whatever. My church group meets on Tuesday nights, and we did that. We had 9 people, and it seemed to work pretty well on Zoom. So if that's something you might be interested in, let me know. Let me know what format you might like to see that in. give me some feedback. If anybody's interested in doing such a thing, I think it would be something worthwhile to do. It would allow me to put some faces to some of the names that joined the group. So, uh, other than that, uh, things are stressful all over. I know I was supposed to go have a cardiac stress test where you get on the treadmill and whatnot tomorrow, and it got canceled. I presume due to the virus ordeal. They told me the next time they could get me in at that location would be May 28th, and I'll be gone by then. So I'm also stressing a little bit about how I'll find my pain meds and pain management once I relocate out of state. I've been very blessed to have great doctors in my corner um, about my chronic pain. I haven't had any problem getting my meds. I don't take a lot of meds. I probably take 3 to 5 pain pills a week, give or take, um, and nothing terribly strong, so that hasn't been an issue. Um, so yeah, all the stress, as we all know, stress tends to increase our pain levels because it increases your cortisol level, which increases inflammation, so it can become a vicious spiral. Um, so yeah, like I said, I've tried to start reading again. I've picked up the Game of Thrones series, trying to read that. I find reading to be a challenge some days. When my pain's real high, I find it hard to focus. And there's a lot of characters in this particular series. I'm sure most of you have seen the series. I have not because I don't have HBO. Um, so I'm trying to do that to distract myself. I'm trying to learn some new skills, like I said, with Skype and Zoom, and maybe be able to come online through a couple different means. But yeah, I'm trying to get out and walk a little bit. I usually exercise in the pool, but the YMCA where I go to the pool is closed. So I've been trying to get out to the park or walk around the neighborhood as best I can to try and get some exercise so my weight doesn't balloon out of control. I find myself doing a fair amount of stress eating comfort foods, all of which are pretty much no good for you. Um, so yeah, like I said, I just wanted to come on, say hi, see how you guys are all doing. Um, I had some tech problems last week, so I wanted to try and run it this week and see. It looks like I got those ironed out. So the other thing I wanted to come on and share with you is I got a clip from uh, the Pain Geek, Michelle. She made a little video clip. It's her first real video clip. Usually she just writes on her uh, blog, which is you can reach at paingeek.net. She does a lot of really good writing on there. She has been a big help to me, and we've tried to collaborate on some projects in the past. And she did a little video, her first, I guess you could say, video debut of making her own video. And I'm going to run that here in just a few minutes. It's about freaking out over the cerveza bug epidemic we got going on. Um, I don't call it that because I'm dismissive or don't think it's serious. I call it that because it adds just a little bit of humor. And hey, we all need all the humor and anything to lighten the mood these days. Uh, if we lose our sense of humor, we're sunk, in my opinion. So I'm probably going to run that clip real quick. It only runs about 6 or 7 minutes, as I recall. And then I'll pop back in and see if we get any calls in the meantime. So I will be back in just a couple minutes. Here comes Michelle's clip.
Hi friends, I thought it was important that for the first time ever, I'm going to actually make a video and post it to Facebook because I want to talk a little bit about what it's like as being someone who has an autoimmune disease and how I'm dealing with COVID-19. First of all, I suffer from rheumatoid arthritis, so I take a medication called Humira, which essentially lowers my immune system because rheumatoid arthritis is a type of autoimmune disorder. So Humira basically suppresses my immune system because it's overactive, and that's what's believed to be causing the rheumatoid arthritis. As someone who has a suppressed immune system. I do need to be a little bit more careful than most people, but I'm still not powering inside. Something to keep in mind is that the public officials are being extra careful. From a public health perspective, it is really important that we do limit the number of people that we interact with, and we do limit our exposure going outside to other people. That doesn't mean that we have to stay inside, but it does mean that we should limit the amount of trips that we are taking to the grocery store to only essential things. However, I do make sure that I get outside at least twice a day to walk my dog. And I say hi to my neighbors. I just make sure I do it from a distance of 6 feet. When I go to the grocery store, I make sure that I have gloves like these. I put them on when I get in the car. Then I take Clorox wipes or baby wipes, or sometimes even just a little bit of a mixture of bleach and hot water, and I'll wipe down my entire car. The inside of the car, basically the steering wheel, the dashboard, the doors, places that I might be touching. I go out to the grocery store, I get what I need. I make sure that when I get back in the car, I wipe it down again, and when I return home, once I get in the house, I take off my gloves, and this is the way I do it, to basically make sure I'm not touching the gloves. You go like this, and you go like that, and then you throw them away. After that, I make sure I wash my hands thoroughly with hot water and soap. One thing that those of us who have some type of suppressed immune system have to be really careful about is the number of times that we wash our hands, because each time we wash our hands, we are taking the moisture out of them. So, and that it's in itself could be dangerous. I have several small cuts on my hand, or just a result of having washed my hands so much and dried them that things are getting chapped. So I'm really careful to make sure that I treat those areas that are cut with some type of antibiotic lotion. The other thing is that a lot of these hand sanitizers have alcohol in them, and that can really dry your skin out. And again, that can be a danger for somebody with a rheumatoid arthritis or another autoimmune disorder, because if our skin gets dried out, we could get a cut, and then if we're not careful about covering the cuts or taking care of them, then we're more likely to have a place where, if we were exposed to COVID-19, the virus could enter our system. I'm basically limiting my outside exposure to going out about twice a day to walk my dog. When I do go out and walk my dog, I make sure I say hi to other people who are out walking their dogs or out in their yard. I just make sure I do it from a safe distance. It's really important right now that we not only think about ourselves, but we think about the people around us. Think about perhaps your neighbors who might be living by themselves or elderly, and they might not be able to do things for themselves. I'm being sure that I make sure that I check in with those people either by telephone or internet, or simply knocking on their door and making sure I stay a safe social distance from them. I'm also have one thing I want to remind people about is essentially with news, if it bleeds, it leads, which means that it's in the best interest of news stories to capture stuff that's going to make you want to read it. So every time you look at the news, you need to be sure that you evaluate where the source is coming from and whether it is reliable or not. I also recommend that you limit the amount of news that you watch each day. I myself have limited myself to listening to the news essentially once in the morning and then once in the evening, and I do so using an old-fashioned AM/FM radio. I know there's a lot of temptation out there, especially for those of us who work online all day, to want to look at news sites and such. So one of the things that I've done is I've essentially blocked out those sites on my web browser. Even on my phone, I'm careful. I've actually taken off most of my social media updates. Don't necessarily be getting exposure to people who might be really anxious about it. For now, if people want to get in touch with me, I tell them to send me a text, and I will either call them back or set up a time to video chat. Finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about the self-employed, where there's a lot of small businesses. I know several friends and family members who right now they're not working because essentially they work for a small business. And if there's nobody patronizing the business, there's no need to have workers. So hopefully Congress will pass something that helps people who are self-employed get some type of special unemployed insurance for small businesses or self-employed. Finally, when the COVID-19 passes, I think it's really important for those of us who do have typical jobs that we have a stable paycheck. We think about how we can help out our friends and neighbors who either are self-employed or work for small businesses. If you need something done, consider hiring someone who has a small business and who works locally. If there's something you need to have done around the house, think about asking your friends who are self-employed if they might like to have the opportunity to earn some extra money. In our case, we need help with the housework. So we've been hiring folks to help us do laundry and clean the house. Right now, we really don't want to have that many people from the outside coming in. But once things get back to normal, we're going to make a special effort to make sure that anyone that we do patronize comes from a small business, and we're going to check in on our friends who are self-employed. A lot of the times people don't like to admit that they're hurting. So instead of asking if they need help, sometimes just say, hey, I have this job that I need to have done. Would you be interested in earning some extra money? Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm going to be posting occasionally, maybe once or twice a week, to let you know what life is like from the epicenter of news here in Washington, D.C. Take care, God bless, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.
All right, and again, I want to encourage you to check out her blog. PainGeek.net is where you can find it. Um, and like I said, I think you'll find a lot of good material there. So with that, I didn't have too much else this week. I want to encourage you to give me a thumbs up, a like, make a comment. If you've got a topic that you would like me to discuss on future shows, please feel free to either enter it in the comments, or you can email me at josephofborg, B-O-R-G, at gmail.com, or you can call and leave a message at 725-333-4140. I don't have anybody in the live call queue this week, so I am probably going to wind it up. I appreciate you guys devoting the time to come in and check this out. I try and respect your time, so I want to bring you the best content I can. So again, help spread the word and pass this around to anybody you think who might benefit from it. Also, if you've got a topic or an issue you'd like me to address and talk about related to chronic pain, I would really, really appreciate hearing from you. And like I said, if you were interested in doing some kind of a live video gathering, either through Skype or Zoom, make a comment and let me know. With that, one love, Joseph of Borg. I'm out of here.